Thanks for joining me on Ace
Yeah,
Cast.
of course. Thank you.
So it was really cool watching you, make your Major League debut after getting the opening day nod, the roster, meeting your family. 2 months in, how are we feeling?
It feels like a dream still. It's everything I've worked for ever since I was a kid, and to be at this level doing it, I can't complain at all.
I sat down with your family, and of course your dad's very familiar with being a professional athlete. What's it like having your dad join you on this journey? He's got a background in playing professional baseball as well.
It's awesome. Ever since I was a kid, he was always there, and he was a pitcher. So as a catcher, it was awesome hearing from him as a pitcher and everything that he has on the game and like how to call pitches. So like a lot of how I call a game is based off of him because he's been there the whole time and he has a background doing it.
And being able to just utilize his knowledge, you also get to utilize Joey Bart, of course, coming up in your ranks with college, and picking pieces from these guys, learning from Shea.
Yeah.
What are some of the lessons you learned from these guys? These are some pretty big names and pretty big smart minds and baseball guys.
Yeah, being at college with Joey and even Shea now is just, you always try and pick their brains, whether it's reading a hitter's swing, knowing your pitcher's strengths, trying to pitch to his strengths rather than to pitch to the hitter's weaknesses. So it's just a lot of little things, and you continue to learn when you surround yourself with these people.
A former coach of yours, I believe he called you a low-key genius. Do you remember this nickname?
Who is this?
I believe it was Danny Hall.
Danny Hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he said because when you're talking, you're feeding information, it means something.
Yeah.
How do you take away a compliment or a nickname like that?
I would take that. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I always liked Danny. I love playing for him. He's a great college coach, and I learned a lot from him.
And it's from then till now, and obviously you've matured a lot, not just behind the dish. We'll talk about that in a little bit. How would you utilize how your hitting's going? The numbers kind of dipped a little bit, but what are you utilizing and learning as far as some of these approaches?
Just trying to control what you can control. I'm obviously the backup catcher, so I don't get as many consistent ABs. So when I do play, I like to just try and look for a heater middle and go off of that. So I don't try to overcomplicate things. I just go out and play the game.
And since you're not getting as many at bats, I'm always curious because how do you stay ready? Because you never know. It's not always a roster situation or a starting lineup situation. If it's a situational hitting situation, how do you get yourself prepared?
I would say hitting off the machine in the cage because that keeps your eyes trained for live pitching. And I normally just set it a little high, and if I'm able to be on time, then I know that when I get in the game, I'm going to be ready to go.
I want to talk about how you've done behind the plate, because we always knew your bat was there. There's some concerns or questions about how you could do defensively. How are you feeling defensively about your game right now?
I feel great. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel like my hands, receiving-wise, are good. Even the chemistry between all the pitchers. Like the days I'm not playing, I go and try and catch all the bullpens just to keep learning and know what they're trying to do and what they're working on. So just to be able to do that, it helps a long ways, because when you're in the game and you're in the heat of the moment, you know what they want, and hopefully they can execute.
Chemistry is super important as a catcher, and of course you want to learn these guys, but there's only so much you can do on the field. Do you do stuff off the field to kind of bond? I know you guys hang out a lot.
Yeah, off the field, we don't really talk too much baseball. We try and eliminate that since it's every day baseball. So just to crack jokes and just be around them, it goes a long way.
So on that note, because I'm the same way. Like the moment I'm coming home from a game, I'm watching like Bridgerton or Sopranos, nothing baseball related.
Wipe baseball out of your mind.
When you wipe baseball out of your mind, what are you watching? What are you listening to?
I'm either watching like a TV show, movie, or I'll even play video games with some of the teammates.
What's the video game for you?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty right now.
That's such a boy answer. It's like
no more Fortnite anymore.
That's true. Oh, you've graduated.
Yeah,
Congratulations. That's maturity right there.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to the TV shows and the movies, what are you consuming?
It depends. Like the last TV show I watched was with my wife actually, and it was Breaking Bad.
Really?
And it was the first time I've seen it.
Okay.
I've heard lots of great things, and it's a great show.
Did you watch it like kind of after everybody else did? So okay.
Yeah, I was definitely late to the party.
And that's okay. I still haven't watched it. I'm just now watching The Sopranos.
Sopranos are good too. I've seen that.
Okay, so I have a lot to look forward to.
Yes,
okay, good. I'm looking forward to that.
It only gets better too.
Oh, good. I wanted to talk to you about Drew because I sat down with her. She's gorgeous and such a beautiful human, and then the rest of your family, and they the smiles were infectious. I think I actually owe your brother a beer now that I think about it. But You know, she was talking about all the stuff you guys do off the field, because you can only do so much on the field. You have to be prepared. She just talked about everything that you guys did throughout the ranks. What's it like having a support system like her?
It's awesome. She's obviously the love of my life, and when things aren't going well, she's always there for me, and when things are going great, it's nice to have someone who cares a lot for you, and to go through like the minors and my whole career with her, it's very special.
What were the minors like? Because we kind of only see you on this. I mean, like, of course, we watch the scouting reports and we hear about you in these lists, but it's a grind.
It is a grind.
When you reflect on those days, what do you think about?
I think that it was a grind, and it was all worth it too, because there was points in times where I was like, you start thinking about, what is this really what I want to do? And back to Drew, she'd always push me to say, no, we're doing it. You're obviously a great player, but I never really thought about obviously like that path. But there's obviously games where you go 0 for 4
right.
You're like, I hate this game.
Totally.
I'm done. I'm in AA right now. I'm in the middle of Texas, but to have her there, continuing to push me, it obviously helped, because now I'm in the big leagues.
And you know, those days still happen up here. You know,
Yes,
you're not doing well at the plate. How do you have a goldfish mentality and try to forget it?
It's definitely hard, but like I go back to like the TV shows and video games. I mean, when you're playing video games or watching a movie, I feel like it takes everything off of baseball. It's like a little mental reset.
Totally, I'm right there with you. When it comes to some of these younger pitchers, and you're on the same, you know, playing field as them, because they're all new as well as yourself, and you get to see what they're able to do. Like Estes is certainly stepping up. I love his competitive edge. Hogan Harris coming out of nowhere, being impressive. What have you liked about these guys?
I like when they pitch, they're telling you, I'm here and I'm going to throw it right by you. They have that competitive edge to them, and it's definitely fun to watch, because I've obviously caught them in the minor leagues too. So to see them up here at this level succeeding, it's very surreal.
You're a Georgia guy. You were able to be at Truist and play at Truist recently. And obviously this wasn't the field that you grew up, you know, watching on TV, but we're all TBS guys. We all are Atlanta Braves fans. What was it like being able to walk on that field and have 100 of your friends and family there?
It was very special. I still can't believe it happened, because growing up a huge Braves fan, seeing all these players, and then now I'm catching and playing at the same stadium. I honestly, like in the second inning of the first Friday game, I kind of like took a moment, looked around, and was like, wow, I'm doing it.
You were able to take it in though.
Yeah,
that's great.
It was a very cool experience, and having all my friends and family there in the stands supporting me was awesome.
Who are the guys that you like to watch, like specifically on the Braves, that you're like, that's my dude, that's my guy?
Well, growing up, it was like Brian McCann, Chipper Jones, Jeff Francoeur, all those guys. So it was an awesome moment.
And I think I read somewhere that, like, obviously, I mean, there's 3 McCanns in the league, all catchers, so funny, not related.
It's crazy.
But totally crazy. But you also kind of mirrored some of your approaches after Brian McCann, right? Or some characteristics, a little bit? What were those?
Well, he always caught on 2 feet. So, like, back in my college days, when I caught on 2 feet, I would mirror it off of him. But when I got into pro ball, that's when all the one knee started happening. And trying to steal pitches, so that kind of changed. But growing up, I definitely mirrored off of Brian, because same last name, Atlanta guy. I was like, this is my favorite player, obviously.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. There's not many Kleinschmidts I was able to do that with.
That's why I was number 16.
I was going to say, I think there was a number 16 going too.
Yeah.
When you were able to transition, you saw like the way that he was, you know, the pro ball, and you were going from 2 feet to 1 feet. What was that transition like? Was that like less relief or more relief on you?
I would say it was better, because it saves your legs, it saves your hips, and honestly, you can receive the ball better too, because it makes you a little lower to the ground.
Totally.
So you can work from the ground up.
I think about the catcher position. I just feel for y'all. I feel like you have such an important position. Monetarily, hopefully as time goes on, you guys get more respect and the contractually obligations and stuff like that. When you have to describe what a catcher is, when it's more than just what you do behind the plate and at the plate, how would you describe that? I feel like it's like an extension of a coach in a way.
Yeah, you're almost like a leader when you're out there, because you're controlling the game. You're the ones calling the pitches. You're the ones going out and putting on first and seconds. And it's a lot too, because you got to do the homework on all the hitters and know what they like to do and what gets them out at the end of the day. So it honestly is like you're a second coach out there.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of homework to do, but it's also fun at the same time, because when I'm catching, at least I feel like I'm in control of the game. that's awesome.
I love that. Before I let you go, it's a really fun squad this season, and not in addition to just being fun, you guys are so talented. Talk about some of these guys that have really impressed you in 2024.
I mean, there's a lot. I would say the hitters, JJ Bleday. I mean, he's raking, so I've got to tip my cap to him. Sodi, he's even showing his bat right now, which we all know he could do. There's a lot of guys, even pitchers like Mason Miller. Like, I caught him a few times in the minors, but I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was going to be this good. So, and the team chemistry goes a long way when you're grinding throughout a season. So to have a group of guys that really all care for each other and want to win ball games, I think it goes a long way. And I know we've been through a little rough stretch, but I can see it coming around and finishing strong.
And even with the rough stretches, you guys still maintain.
Even the rough stretches, Rooker called a meeting and he explained. He said some good things. So to have a guy like that who's a good leader on this team, it goes a long way.
Perfect guy to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.